So, how do you help business owners avoid the trap of siloed data when working with multiple specialists? Because everyone's going to want to tell their own story in a way that makes sense to them. But what we really need to be looking at, and this is one of the things that I love about what you do, because you're able to pull it from a lot of different places and then say, okay, here's what the story is really telling you, as opposed to someone saying, well, I'm doing great with SEO. And it's like, yeah, but you're doing great with SEO because all of these other things are working. So that's contributing to you being able to do this. So if you tell someone that you're the one that's delivering on that, and you're not including the other things, the other factors that are leading to you getting that result, they may pull back in their budget on the things that were contributing to what you were doing, and then everybody loses. So it kind of creates that start and stop. So
Yeah.
how do you help address that and help people identify how to be able to pull all the data together and then start to organize it in a way that makes sense? Because you talked about intentional, and I think that kind of leads into your framework. So it's a two-part question.
Yeah. So what I recommend
Hmm.
is that, data is supposed to be objective, but we all know that, again, as you just described, you can spin the data however you want. So one of the things that we do is we just say we're here to measure. We're here to measure, and we're here to help you. So whether it's external or you take the same viewpoint internally within the company, it doesn't matter. But if you have a measurement team, whether it's one person or multiple, and they're responsible for gathering everything together,
Hmm.
bringing all the pieces together on a dashboard of all the things that you need to look at. That measurement team or person they're not trying to make ads better. They're not trying to justify the ad spend. They're not trying to justify the SEO. They're not trying to justify the print advertising. Doesn't matter. They're just measuring and bringing the pieces together and reporting
Hmm.
on them. They're reporting to you, the client, as here are just all the pieces together. So if that separation of the measurement, the analytics from the service of these marketing channels is one way to help take that apart. And it's in the bringing together of the components, all of these channels that you're working with, where then you can start to see, yeah, ads, for what you were doing on ads on Facebook or what you were doing for ads on Google, you did a great job. But in bringing them together, you can also look at, wow, maybe that print campaign we did
Mm.
has outperformed everything else. And is it because it was a seasonal thing, or this is our audience? You could say the same thing about any of the channels, that when you bring them all individually, everybody was doing their job really well.
Mhm.
But by bringing them together, it's not about whether you did your job well or not. It's about how are our customers responding? What do they respond to best? Where are they hanging out? Where should we shift our attention? Then it becomes a question about not did you do your job? It becomes a question about how am I interacting with my audience, which is the thing that's going to move your needle. And so bringing everything together with that holistic viewpoint allows you to take that um, without a tie to whether or not I did my job well. Because everybody can do their job well, and it's just still about the market. Everybody was hanging out. You could see a massive shift over to TikTok
Mhm.
for some businesses. Has nothing to do with whether ads worked or not. Everybody just shifted. So that's where the difference comes in, is being able to have that bigger picture to see what's going on and where your money is your spends are most effective.
Can we pause there for a second? Because once again, I think there are going to be some people that love the numbers and they will say, okay, totally got what you were saying. Let's bring it back to the customer journey again. And the thing where there are people like, I'm transactional. I just want to know that I'm getting what I need to be able to get out of this. So in a way, what you described is putting puzzle pieces together to say, yes, you were given a specific task and you did well with that task, but it's kind of bring the focus back to, I gave you a job and yes, you did your job, but is it helping me get the goal and the results that I'm looking for? Because if I'm not getting that and you're still doing what you're supposed to be doing, then that might not be a good spend of the money. I might need to start looking at, did people shift over to TikTok? Did something else happen? If it did, why? Is it something where it's just a small trend, or is it something where this is where I can actually find the audience? Because if it is something where you can find the audience, it doesn't mean that you have to stop doing some of these other things that you're doing. It just means that you might prioritize them differently. because you know that you can have a different type of conversation with someone as far as your audience goes on a specific platform or at a specific place or a specific way. So it's a reason why you actually look at the analytics. You're not just giving someone a task and saying, well, did you do good at that task? You have to be able to take a step back and look at it holistically to be able to say, is everything that I'm doing bringing me in the direction that I want to be able to go efficiently? Is something kind of moving me in a direction that's slowing me down? Then you need to take a look at that. And if you only look at the data that they're giving you might not identify that.
Yes.
It may be something where you'd miss it and you'd only see, well, they're doing great, but yeah, they're doing great, but we're trying to move furniture in the room and you're trying to bring it back out of the room. And it's like you're stuck somewhere in the middle. You're like, I feel like we're stuck somewhere. And it's because one person's pulling and the other person's pushing. So it's identifying, is everything that we're doing moving in the right direction of what I want, not what I'm asking them to do, but what I want. And
Yes.
I think that can't get lost. I think that's really important in understanding why I love the fact that what you can do is you can dissect something like you just did and say, okay, you're giving me all of this data. I'm going to look at each one individually, see the story that they're telling, and then I'm going to put it back together so that it tells the story of, does this bring you where you were intending to go? Because if not, then we need to have a different conversation. So
Eh,
I think that kind of
yeah.
leads into what you do.
And ultimately, the measurement is always in relation to your business. It's not in relation to a specific function like an ad or a campaign or something like that. It's how is this all moving your business forward? That's where the tie is back. It's always back to your business.